Hello, Dan Joust. How are you today?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. So let's talk a little bit about money and what's on your mind today that you think we should talk about for Money Talks today.
Oh, today let's talk about 3 documents your college student needs.
That would be something from Mr. Franklin. He'd probably like
That's right.
three Mr. Franklins, but I
Like
bet you have
3.
something different in mind, don't you?
We do. We have what's called estate planning documents.
Estate planning documents.
When your college student heads off, and I have some clients whose college students are heading off in the fall because they've been accepted, and so it takes a while, but eventually they'll pack up their car and leave. They're also probably over 18 years old, and if by chance they had to go to the hospital, the doctor won't talk to you about them because they're an adult.
Legally, they're an
That's
adult.
right. We all know that they won't be adults for another 3 or 4 years.
At least.
Well, then another legal age is 21, and then it goes up from there. But a HIPAA authorization allows, it's a legal document that allows the student's health information to be disclosed to the third party. And at that time, the parents are now the third parties. And typically, a HIPAA authorization, the required words are in a healthcare power of attorney or a medical power of attorney.
Right.
And the medical power of attorney is a document that allows the student to designate another person, their parents, to be their agent in the event they no longer are able to make decisions about their own health care. So if they're unconscious, the healthcare power of attorney allows the parents to direct the doctors what to do.
Okay.
And
like where to send the bill.
No, that's separate.
That's
but just
okay.
The healthcare decisions, regardless of bills. But because, if they were 16 or 17, they'd ask the parent. But now that they're 18 or 19 or 20, they don't ask the parent. So that document needs to be available. We've sent those documents to our students' school, so they have those on file. And then the third document is a durable power of attorney or durable general power of attorney, sometimes referred to as a financial power of attorney. That document allows a third party, the parents, the authority to make financial transactions, pay bills, sign legal documents on the student's behalf if they aren't able to for some reason. And that could be, if the student's out of the country, in one of the many semesters abroad or something like that, and something needs to be done, like a tax return needs to be signed or anything else, the parents can keep signing for their student. Typically, if you go to an estate planning attorney, they do these documents. They'll also do a will. The student may have some part-time work and funding an investment account. And what happens if the student passes away with an investment account or a checking account? Well, a will designate what to do with those things.
Okay.
And typically, if the student goes to an estate planning attorney to do those things, they may ask about organ donation, which is usually, for most states, taken care of at the DMV. But it's just another time to address, hey, you have a body. What do you want to do with it if you can't use it?
Yeah, because somebody else can use some of that.
Because somebody else can at least use parts of it.
Right. We think as parents a lot about sending our kids off to school and making sure that they've got their name stitched in their clothing or whatever it used to be, and that they've got the books and the papers. But these are very important documents that need to be thought about. And I'll bet the majority of the students going off to school don't even have that, or probably even haven't even had that conversation.
Nope, they haven't typically. And you can't just throw it in the trunk and wave goodbye. You've got to have the conversation with an attorney that can do something about it. And they have their own wishes, and so they need to express those. So it's great for the parent to schedule a time so that it's kind of an introducing the student to another professional and say, okay, these people are now going to help you, so help them help you.
That's good. Now, you're a financial guy. Why would you talk about this? Because you deal with how people should invest.
Well, that's part of what we do, yeah. The Certified Financial Planning designation that I hold is multidiscipline, and so investments are part of it, but so is tax and retirement and, of course, estate planning. So I ask all my clients, if they don't have them, to get estate planning documents, and we move through that process because it's an important piece of our financial life.
That's good. So if someone would like to become one of your clients or just have an initial free consultation, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
We use the old-fashioned phone still, 757-903-2127. And they can read about us online at jossbrown.com.
Excellent. Well, we appreciate your time very much, Dan Joss, and we look forward to chatting with you again next week.
Well, you're very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Money Talks is a weekly program presented for the listener's benefit and entertainment. It is provided at no cost to the listener, and the ideas, opinions, and comments are not to be construed as legal advice, tax advice, investment advice, or other advice specific to the listener. Listeners are encouraged to seek the advice of a licensed professional or other qualified party when dealing with financial, legal, tax, medical, investment, insurance, taxidermy, plumbing, electrical, carpentry, real estate, chiropractic, veterinary, oral hygiene, hot air ballooning, etc. We have given you some food for thought. Now, call a licensed professional such as Dan Joss at 757-903-2127. Thanks for listening, and remember, failing to plan is planning to fail.